Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cpmpetent. If you have a skill set and you want to migrate to Australia permanently, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to go through the process as to how you can travel to Australia and work under Visa Subclass 189. So this is basically for people that got a skill set. So for example, if you're a nurse, midwife, teacher, baker, carpenter, chef, plumber, engineer, ICT, mechanic, the list goes on and on and on. You've got a lot of experience working in your field and you want to migrate to Australia permanently and live in Australia with your family, then this video is for you. I'm going to take my time and go through the process with you guys. Disclaimer number one, I am not a migration agent. I just live in Australia for some time now and I also know the system. I'm well researched. I'll also highly recommend you do your own research so you can back up what I'm going to tell you with your own research so you have a better place to stand. Without talking too much, I'm going to share my screen so we get right into it. See you on the other side. Alright, so before we actually get into the details, please check the criteria here. You are not eligible to apply for this visa if you are over 45 years old. You've got a severe health issue. Yeah, so do not even bother to apply if you know that you got a severe health issues. You got a criminal record, okay? So if you have any past criminal record, then do not even bother because your visa is going to be rejected. And if you have a bad character, when we say bad character, maybe got a bad record in another country, you're on the wanted list in another country, yeah, trust me, Australians will find out. Okay, so if you've got bad character, criminal record, you're over 45 years old and you've got severe health issues, do not even bother to apply for this visa. If you're over 45 years old, there are other visas you can apply for, and I'm going to do videos in regards to those visas. Again, before we get into it, these are some concepts that I want you guys to understand. The process is very easy, but please try to understand this concept so it will make things easier for you. So there's something called occupation list. So with occupation list, every year the government lists all the occupations that are in high demand in Australia. Okay, so before you apply for the Visa Subclass 189, make sure you go and check on this occupation list to make sure your occupation is listed. We have the ANZ SCOI code. Okay, so this is like a 6-digit number that basically describes the occupation. So they describe the task required in each occupation. So let's say if you're an accountant, yeah, what are the duties of an accountant? So when you click on this ANZ code, it will give you the description as to the duties of an accountant, and you match this with your skill set to make sure you meet the requirements before you go ahead and apply. There's something called skills assessment. So skills assessment is basically saying that, let's say if you're an accountant in Ghana, Nigeria, Pakistan, India, in your home country, and you want to bring your skill set to Australia, you need to go through a skill assessing body that will assess your documents and your experience to make sure your accounting skill sets meet the Australian standard. There's something called point system or point calculation. Australia works on a point-based system. Okay, so they'll check your age, your qualification, English test, and the rest. Okay, and they give points according to each of these criteria. I'm going to talk into details in regards to this points system. The higher your points, the more chance of you getting an invitation to apply for this visa. There's something called SkillSelect. So the SkillSelect is basically the government picking applicants with the highest points. So the higher your points, the more chance that the government is going to select you to apply for this visa. There's something called EOI, expression of interest. So once you have all your documents and everything ready, you need to express your interest to the Australian government that you want to travel and work in Australia. Okay, once you express your interest, you just sit down and relax, and Australia goes through an invitation round. So every 3 months they go out giving invitations with suitable candidates with the highest point. Okay, so every 3 months they do this, and once you are invited, then you go to the last part, which is the visa application. So visa application is basically saying that once you get an email from the government inviting you to apply for the Visa Subclass 189, you've got 60 days to gather all your documents. So this is basically the concept or the terms that you need to understand when it comes to Visa Subclass 189. So now, what is Visa Subclass 189? Okay, so this is basically you coming here as a permanent resident if you have a skills set that Australia needs. Okay, that Australia needs. So let's say if you're a nurse, midwife, engineer, ICT, actor, dancer, baker, barrister, farmer, carpenter, a plumber, teachers, the list goes on and on. If you have this sort of skill set in your home country and you want to travel to Australia permanently with your family, then this Visa Subclass 189 is your best bet. This visa is also very popular in Australia, okay, because now the government is issuing out a lot of invitation for people to come into Australia with their skill sets due to the work shortage we have in Australia. So if you've got a skill set, you're under 45 years old, then hey, you are at a great chance of you migrating to Australia. Now there's a process you need to follow, okay, and I'm going to spend a lot of time on this slide. Please make sure you do not skip any parts of this process. I have linked everything here, okay. Yeah, so you cannot skip any parts of this process, and don't let anyone say, for example, if I want to take step 1 out, it's not going to allow me to take step 1 out. Yeah, if I don't take step 4 out, it's not going to allow me. I've made sure that I've linked everything here, okay, so you cannot skip any part of this step, okay. They are all interlinked, and make sure you follow this step, and trust me, if you follow this step, you'll be on your way to Australia. So step one is basically checking your eligibility to make sure you are eligible to apply for this visa, okay. So there's something called the occupation list check. So this is what you would do, okay. I'm going to share all these links with you. So this is the skills occupation list. The government always adds occupations to this list. They also take some occupations from this list. So you need to be aware of this, okay? So always make sure you have this link saved somewhere, and always check that your occupation is on this list. All right, so if you want more details as to the Visa Subclass 189, when you come here, okay, you click on this link. It's going to give you a lot of details as to what the process is, okay. So this is also the process that is listed here for you, okay. So just take your time and go through the process about this visa eligibility step by step. When you have this visa, what you need to do. Australia has made things simple, okay, so you have all this information at your fingertips, so please do your own research. All right, but let's go back. All right, so let's say I'm ready. I'm a nurse, I'm a teacher, I'm a midwife in your home country and want to migrate to Australia. This is what you need to do. Come on this website. Come all the way down here where it says skilled occupation list. Okay, come to the where it says select the visa. Go down and select Visa 189 because this is what we want to apply for. Okay, so look for Visa 189. So this is Visa 189, skilled independent subclass point tested. Click on it, okay. And when you come down here, it's saying showing 20 out of 212 items that matches your criteria. So you basically have over 200 skills on this list, which is amazing, okay. So there are a lot of occupations on the list. I'm pretty sure the sort of skill set you have in your home country is listed here, so take the action. Okay, now so when you come here, the first one is is saying accountant. Okay, so the first one will list the sort of occupation, and they'll also give details as to what sort of visa you can apply for this occupation. When you come here, this is the ANZ code that I was talking about. Okay, so I'll quickly click on this. When you click on the ANZ code, so this is the Australian and New Zealand standard classification of occupation. So this will give you the description as to what's the Australian, what the definition of an accountant is in Australia, okay. Yeah, so take your time and read through. So accountant provides services relating to financial reporting. So that's the duties, and also the tax include. Yeah, so they'll give every detail here. So even if you don't have the title of as an accountant, but all your duties matches what is written here, then you can go ahead and apply for this visa. This is all defined by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, but do not worry about this, okay? Just know that the ANZ score code gives the definition as to what an occupation is, if that makes sense. Yeah, so if let's say an accountant, you click here, read, click on the ANZ score code, read the description, check if Visa 189 is eligible. Of course it's eligible. This is the list, and this is the assessing authorities, okay? So where you can actually go and get your skills assessment done. Okay, so with accounting, you can get it done with CAANZ, CPAAIPA. All these bodies are allowed to get your skills assessment done. It's really, really important. Okay, so that's the first step you need to do. All right, so once you check that your occupation is on the list, yay, now you come down, you need to calculate your points. Okay, there's something called points calculation. You need to calculate your point. You need to make sure you have 65 points and above. This place is a bit tricky. The more points you have, the better chance of you getting an invitation to apply for this visa. Let me explain. All right, so we have a point calculator here. Okay, again, I'm going to leave all this link in the description section below. So when it comes to the points calculator, select the sort of visa you want to apply for. In this case, we are applying for the Visa Subclass 189. All right, so you go through this point calculator. Okay, I'm not going to go through. I don't want to waste a lot of time here, but it's pretty straightforward. When you come to the point table here, click on it, and it's going to give you all the definition as to what each criteria is. Okay, so they'll check out for your age. So for example, if you are 18 and below 25, you get 25 points. If you are 25 to 33 years, you get 30 points. If you are 33 but less than 40, you get 25 points. If you are 40 but less than 45, you get 15 points. Okay, English test. For the English test, if you get band 6 in all the components, which is reading, writing, listening, and speaking, yeah, if you get band 6, you don't get any points. But if you get band 7, so proficient English band 7, if you get band 7, you get 10 points. If you get band 8, you get 20 points. Use this point table to calculate your points. But to help you out, yeah, just come here and follow it. This is like a calculator. Okay, so you select your age. Let's say you are 25 to 33 or 33 to 40. Okay, yep. Then your English test. Okay, so proficient in English. Then you follow the steps, and once you're done, it's going to tell you how many points you currently have. Now, even though they've said that they need 65 points, I'll quickly take you to the invitation round. Okay, let me quickly explain something here. So the last invitations that were sent out for people to come and apply for this Visa Subclass 189 was on the 8th of December 2022. And guess what? 35,000 people were invited to apply for Visa Subclass 189 and move to Australia with their family permanently. So this shows you how desperate Australia is to get people in. Now, even though it says you need at least 65 points, when it comes to accountants, people that had 85 points and above were invited. So this is what I'm saying. It's like a competition. So even though they are saying, oh, you need at least 65 points, make sure you have more points so you can get selected quickly. Yeah, so this is like a little trick I'm trying to tell you. So you always come on this website, okay, and always check the sort of points that they are inviting people over. Okay, the higher your points, that the better your chance of you getting invited to Australia. So again, I'm going to leave this link here so you check as to what sort of points that got the invitation to come to Australia. All right, let's move on. Okay, so once you get your points checked and you got 65 points, then yay, you move on to the next step. So the next step is your skills assessment. This is really, really important. Okay, so if you're an accountant, you're a nurse, you're a midwife, you're a teacher, yeah, you're a carpenter, baker, chef in your home country, it's really important to get your skills assessment done. How do you know what sort of skill body that will get your assessment done? Again, on the first link, yeah, based on your occupation. So let's say I'll search for a nurse. I'll go search. All right, so nurse practitioner. Yeah, you need to go through ANMAC. Okay, so ANMAC will get your skills assessment done. Okay, so registered nurse, again, you need to go through ANMAC. Again, so when it comes to the skills body, okay, yeah, so skills body, again, I'm going to leave this link in the description section below. So this will give you as to the skill assessment body in Australia that will be able to assess your skills to make sure it meets the Australian standard. Okay, so I'm going to leave all this link at the description section below. For example, for teachers, yeah, you need to go through the Australian Institute of Teaching and School Leadership Limited. Okay, so when you click on this link, you need to register. If you want to come here as a teacher, you need to register on this website and go through the process. Okay, they'll list the process for you. Is it free? No, it's not free. Oh, sorry guys, I made a mistake here. I made a huge mistake here. All right, let me quickly correct this. All right, so the skills assessment is not free and it's not cheap either. Okay, so the sort of amount you pay will be based on the sort of occupation or the skills assessment bodies you are going through with. Okay, yeah, but what I know is the price ranges from like $500 to like $2,000+ Australian dollars. So it's not cheap, so make sure you are ready for this. Okay, so once you're going through your skills assessment, then you need your English test done. This is really important. Okay, so again, the English test, for what I know, IELTS is around $215 to get your English test done. Okay, we got PTE, TOEFL, and the rest, and they all have their own prices, but the price I've listed here is for IELTS. All right, so you need at least band 6 in the English test, but every skills assessing bodies also got their own English criteria. Yeah, if you're a teacher, I think you need band 8. So what are the English requirements? Let me quickly share my... All right, so with Visa Subclass 189, all right, so these are the sort of, what do you call it, English tests that are accepted. Okay, so IELTS, you got TOEFL, you got PT, you got OET, and you got the Cambridge C1 advanced test. Okay, yeah, so you can click on each of the links to read further. Okay, so you are required to have at least band 6 when it's IELTS. Yep, and you need to make sure you get at least band 6 in each of the components. So you have your listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Okay, you need to make sure you get at least band 6. Again, I'm going to leave this link in the description section below. All right, so once you have your skills assessment, a positive skills assessment done, you've got your English test requirements, then yay, you can go ahead and go on the SkillSelect website and express your interest. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you how to do that now too. So this is the SkillSelect link. Okay, again, I'm going to leave this link in the description section below. You can read for yourself, but you can go here, start an expression of interest. If you already have a login, you can always log in here. So I'm going to click on expression of interest, and again, it's going to give you more details as to what you need done. Okay, so have a skills assessment, complete your EOI, submit your EOI, receive an invitation to apply for a skilled visa. You go to email account and you apply for the visa, you upload your documents. So you can come down here once you have everything ready. You can go submit an expression of interest, click on the link, okay, and go through this form. Okay, so agree to all the terms and conditions, go next, and voila, start filling out this form. I'm not going to do that here. Okay, start filling out this form. It's pretty straightforward. So this is you basically telling the government that you are ready and you are interested in migrating to Australia permanently to come and work in Australia. Once you submit your expression of interest, you can always update your details. So let's say if you previously had band 6 and if we sat for the English test and you now have band, what do you call it, band 8, you can always log in and update your details. What happens is once you update your details and you move from, let's say, point 65 to point 70, you'll be placed ahead of the queue, if that makes sense. Yeah, so expression of interest is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. And once you upgrade yourself, always make sure you come here and you update your details on the expression of interest. Okay, just log in and update your details. Is pretty straightforward. Expression of interest is free. Okay, you don't pay anything, it's totally free. All right, so once you submit your expression of interest, what do? You just wait, relax for you to get invited. Okay, so every 3 months the government sends out invitation. So if you don't get invited in the first quarter, try to upgrade yourself and also update your details, and this will increase your chances of you getting selected in the next round. Okay, so you just wait for an email notification from the government to say that, hey, you've been invited to apply for Visa Subclass 189. So when you get to the invitation to apply, then you go to the step 5. This is where you make sure you get all your documents ready, okay, and apply for the visa. You got 60 days to make sure you have all your documents, so your transcripts, your English test results, your positive skills assessments, your experience letter, your pay slips, all your documents. Make sure you have everything ready and current, and you've got 60 days to make the application. Okay, the cost of this application for this visa is 4,240. This is for a single applicant. So if you are coming here with your family, just know that this price will go up. Okay, so be adding all this. So once you apply for your visa, just sit back, relaxed, and wait for the immigration to send you a letter to go get this done. Okay, so they'll send you a letter to go get your biometrics done in your home country. Okay, so this is where you go get your fingerprints done. Okay, once you get your biometrics done, they also send an invitation to go get your medical examination done in your home country. With the medical checks, they basically check for your blood pressure, eye test, check x-ray to make sure there's no disease in there, check HIV. They'll take your urine sample to also do further checks, and also do general health checks. Okay, they want to make sure you don't have any severe sickness. And once you get your medical checks done too, they'll send you a letter to go get your police check in your home country. So if you are applying from Ghana, yeah, you need to go to the Ghana Police High Commission and get a certificate to say that you got a clean record in Ghana. Okay, so once you submit all this and everything is good, 99.9% your visa is going to be approved, and you'll be on your way to Australia. It's as easy as that. Thank you so much, guys. So this is the process. Okay, this is the process, and do not skip any part of this process. If you don't understand anything and you need more explanation, please go to the comment section below, put it there, and I'll be there to help you out. So my name is Kwame Chumisi. If you find this content useful and you want me to create such content, please let me know. And also show some love by clicking on that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, so you'll be notified whenever I release any useful content. Also, if you have any questions in regards to any sort of content you want me to create, then let me know in the comment section below. I'll add to the list and make that happen for you. I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.